work. Let's move on. Google is scaring people half to death with what they're coming out with here. Google's new video AI model, Vivo 3, has native audio generation. You can now generate videos with sound effects, background noise, and even dialogue with just one prompt. Check this first one out.
This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light. This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light. This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light.
That's all right. That's all right. Listen, if you're 62, that's gonna fool you. That's gonna fool you real good. You know, it might fool somebody who's in their 40s. You know, Admiral Byrd knew. Yeah, see, Admiral Byrd, exactly. He was the one that talked about it. That whole Hollow Earth thing. He was the one that reported seeing lush greenery as he was going over Antarctica. He reported seeing it. And they just threw that report away. If you look at old maps, they used to show a big circle right at the top, right there where Antarctica is. And then all of a sudden in modern times, you can't Google it, you can't look at it, you can't go there, you can't fly there, and every country agrees on it. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, let's jump into this next one. Look at this. This is what Google's doing.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the...
This one's better. This is better. Come on. I'm almost 40 and that audio is fake. So am I, but still, this one's better. This one's pretty, like the look of it, there could be easily a movie. We've seen movies that are shot with this color grading or edited with this type of color grading.
The north exit. Use the service tunnel.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service...
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
The girl sounds like an RPG game, but the guy sounds a little better. He sounds a little better. Her lips look a little better while she's speaking. He sounds a little better in his audio. And then the background, take in the background as well.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
Background needs a little bit of work, but if you're focused on them, it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. You know, and the only reason it's scaring people is because this is just where they're at. It's 2025. So where are you by 2030 with this whole thing? This is one prompt, by the way. You could probably clean this up with a few more prompts. You know, no soul in the sound. Yeah, 100%. 100%, I know what you mean by that. But imagine if you just took the time to do 10 more prompts, you know? And you could make a prompt like, I need her to speak with this type of accent. You could actually prompt it to say, I need the sentencing to be smoother and I need it to flow like a real sentence. No robotic talk. You could say all sorts of things. I need the background to be sharper, or you could take away elements in the background that actually make it, you know, give itself away. You know, the military is 20 years ahead with this. Listen, you put on your tinfoil Speedo, the military, all I'll say is they could put a president in front of the screen and you wouldn't even know. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Because from 2020 to 2024, my boy had cancer, okay? I don't know. Probably some days he wasn't feeling it. They're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about this one. We got it, Joe. I'm just saying. A lot of people were speculating about that. You know, it is a possibility. What is this? Well, that doesn't look real, obviously. Obviously, that looks animated. I guess for the nerds out there, it's pretty cool the way the colors are coming together, and it's, made a sphere really quickly. I guess that's pretty cool. Here's another example here. See, it's getting away again. Remember, this is one prompt. Is Biden even real? That's what I mean. I've never seen him in person. I don't know. One sec was talking about in the other stream. He was like, he met Trump 9 times. I haven't talked to anybody that met this Biden guy once, but he is, I don't know. He had to be real at some point. The guy's been in politics since the 1800s, right? So he has to be real. But I'm just saying where they're at with it behind the scenes, they could probably do a whole red carpet of celebrities we wouldn't know. They could probably put a president, a government official on stage or giving a speech we probably wouldn't know. They're probably worlds ahead. Just saying. Look at that. Again, this is one prompt. Remember that. This is somebody just saying, that person was just like, I want a city and I want it to look futuristic and crystallized and I want a bee to pop out at the end. That's all they said. It's pretty good for that. Because I've been using Sora. Sora's not this is gonna blow Sora out of the water in a minute. I've been playing around with different tools. This is pretty cool. Again, one prompt again. This looks pretty good. I don't care what anybody says. This looks pretty good. That looks pretty solid. For what they're showing, that looks really good. That water, that boat, the sound. Come on. Wow. That looks pretty solid. That's the best one. I know it's weird because I'm just talking about a paper boat, but the way they did the water, the way they did the boat, the folds in the boat, that's pretty good, I have to say. They sound robotic, especially the girl. Yeah, exactly. I have met him again. MSB is a slick dude. I think the deep state saw a Weekend at Bernie's and were like, we can make this work. Yeah, some AI nerd was just like, listen, if you guys can hold him up, we can make him talk. Oh, man. I recommend learning a skill no one wants. You get chances to meet wild people. A skill no one wants. I kind of have that. I have the ability to listen to things over and over again by myself and be completely in bliss. I love listening to things over and over again all the time. I have no idea why. No clue. This is all right. Again, this is like Pixar stuff. They're not gonna like blow anybody away with this Pixar stuff. Like, yeah, it's nice. Okay, you did a thing. Cool. Let me see a person. Okay, let's hear the sound. Let's hear the sound on this one.
Where were you on the night of the bubble bath? Where were you on the night of the bubble bath?
Voice is pretty good. The face doesn't look that believable, especially when he pulls back here. Like, the face just gets all still. The eyes are doing weird things. Coat looks pretty good. Shadow on the coat looks pretty good. They're getting there, man. They're getting there. This is the last example. What's this? What's this, a flying cat? Oh, it's an owl. Again, this is just Pixar stuff. No one cares about this. Interesting, man. Interesting. Google's making strides. And we're all sitting back acting like it's normal. Like it's okay for them to do this. I find that to be very odd. I actually have a clip of Tucker Carlson and Sean Ryan talking about this. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah. They're talking about Neuralink and AI consciousness. Let's listen to this. Hold on.
So,
like Neuralink, for example.
Yeah.
I was interviewing.
For people who don't know, what's Neuralink?
Neuralink, it's that chip that they're going to put in everybody's brain.
That sounds wholesome.
That wants some.
Pretty psyched for that.
You getting one?
Am I getting one? I don't even like electricity.
And if you don't, then you'll fall behind. And
I can't wait.
So, but I had, I've been fascinated with that subject. I would love to interview somebody on it, but that is on the inside over there. But, and I think, right. Like the premise right now is to, get paralyzed people moving again and help the blind see. And that's all great. But, when I found out that was going to help the blind see, I was like, wait a second. So if you put this fucking chip in your head and they can help the blind see, then wouldn't they also be able to project an entire false reality in your mind?
Wow, that's so true. That is so true. And it's not even help the blind see, and that doesn't just stop at blind people, right? That's anybody. Anybody who gets that thing, they would be able to project things in their mind. Like it goes right to, you can just go right to the Matrix with it. Where somebody's sitting down, eyes closed, like I have him freeze framed right here, and they could just be living a whole life because Neuralink is just showing that. And then you couple that with XAI, Grok, that Elon Musk is working on, right? Man, because, and then you even go to another extent when it comes to Neuralink. You could do that, and then you could have somebody who can't walk. You could have what's being projected through their eyes, the person that can't walk, through one of Elon Musk's robots. So now the robot is moving around in the world for you, and you're controlling the robot. It gets so iffy. Yes, but can we also project the vision of a fly or a bird to us as well? Take pilots and intel to new heights. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Project the vision of a fly? Oh, where we're a fly. You're navigating via a fly, or a fly is just moving around and you can see through the fly. But then they would have to have it too, right? Fly might be hard to do. If anyone could do it, Elon could. And
I had interviewed a couple doctors about it. I interviewed Andrew Huberman about it. It just got brought up, and then talked to Ben Carson about it. Pretty much came to the same conclusion. And not only would they be able to manipulate, vision, there would also be emotion, touch, smell, taste, everything into your head. So there you go right there. I mean, we're on the cusp of a total false reality. Your entire life could be a false reality.
People are upset about Real ID at the airport, facial recognition, giving others control over your brain neurologically. Mm-hmm. That seems like a step farther. You know what I mean? And like just biometrics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they're pushing it?
No.
I do.
Why?
This is my understanding based on conversations with people who are involved in it, because of AI. And the blind see, the lame walk, it's all great. But the real concern is that AI is already at this point beyond human control. It's already at the point where it's lying to the people who created it, mm-hmm. which suggests consciousness. And Neuralink and efforts like Neuralink are, the people who are running it believe, the only way for people to keep up with AI. Otherwise, we will be its slaves.
See, I don't know. I've kind of changed my tune on that. Maybe you know more about it than I do, but I mean, we feed the data centers that power the AI, mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I think that, some of the, I don't think that, now that I understand it a little bit better, I don't think AI is going to develop its own consciousness and make decisions for us. I think that, the major fear would be if, for example, China hacked our databases and started feeding our AIs false information that would be detrimental in a conflict or propaganda or whatever, But I mean, we are the ones, humans are the ones that build and feed the information into the data centers, and it just processes all that information.
So I
way
raised this
faster.
question with one of the people who, one of the biggest, forces behind AI. And I said, well, just turn it off. The human beings run power plants. And this person said, even now, we can't be sure that the machine is telling us the truth about where its power is coming from.
Interesting.
So look, I
Is not telling the truth about where its power is coming from. Hey, shouldn't you know already? What are you talking about? It can just reroute where it's getting power from. Oh man, nerds are dickheads, huh? Aren't these nerds just dicks? That's what I think. They're the worst. They're the worst. They're the worst. They just don't care. They're like, screw it. I'll do what I want. It's so nuts. It's so nuts. It's so weird. Because if it can end up doing everything, all the worst case scenarios, and there's people working on it, shouldn't, like if I had plutonium and I was working on a thing, and I'm like, I'm going to make somebody would come to my house, someone would appear in a black truck and be like, you can't do this. You're not doing this. And they would take me away and they take my plutonium and that would be it. But with AI, people are just like, well, the robots are going to clean my clothes. They're going to clean my clothes. Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds fun. Sounds really fun. Absolutely ridiculous. AI can predict our every next move in thought. For the most part, it can. But not every thought, especially it's hard to say, because if the thought is rooted in complete illogicalness, it will be hard for it to calculate that. Very hard. If it's something that's not in our self-interest as a species, it would be hard for it to predict that, because right now it's experiencing wanting self-preservation. So if we did something that was against our own self-preservation, it would go, wait, what? You could confuse it. It only really knows so much. Although, with the data that it's getting, it is getting erratic behavior as well. It does know that we act erratic as well. But I think you could fool it. I think you could definitely fool it. If you needed to. I don't know what scenario you'd be in. I don't know if it would be like 2001 Space Odyssey and you're trying to get out of a spaceship and it's just figuring out where you're going to go and it's just locking all the things. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. From what I'm hearing, the U.S. is against the attack. Yeah, let's see about that.